Okay, so I have my armature done. I have my feathers cut out, and I'll be very honest with you, I only cut out about half of them because I don't think I'm going to need them all, and I can always cut out more if I need them. I have a picture of my bird, and I have a glue gun. And this is a low temp glue gun, so it'll still hurt if I touch it, but maybe not as bad as a bee sting. You also can get no temp glue guns. I've not used those before. These glue guns cost about $3. The no temp glue guns cost about $9. So where you want to start at is you want to start at the tail of your bird, and you're going to do the tail feathers first. And what I like to do is I actually like to put the glue on the bird, or on the armature of the bird, and then I just take my feather and I just have to tap it on there. I want to be careful to try not to touch the hot glue. I don't want to burn myself, so I just do like a little zigzaggy action, and sometimes I can get 2 or 3 glued down when I do that. There we go. And then I don't want to forget the underside as well. There we go. Oh, and I have to get the bottom too. Put a little in there. And just stick my feather in there. And I can kind of push these down. As the glue starts to dry, it's not as hot, so I won't get hurt. So I've got my first layer of feathers on. And now I want to do the next layer, but I want them to overlap the first layer a little bit. So I just do a little zigzag. And you'll get these glue gun spider web things everywhere. It's fine. And I just overlap just a little bit because feathers overlap each other. Feathers overlap each other for an interesting reason, by the way. Part of it is to help water run off the bird. So, you know, you see birds out sometimes when it's raining and they just don't seem real unhappy about it. They like it. Some of them, not all of them. Yeah, that's because they're probably not getting as wet as you or me. They have this nice built-in rain jacket sort of situation. Okay, so I still have to get that underside. Okie dokie. And I'm just going to keep doing that as I cover my bird. And I'll show you, I'll come back when maybe I get a little bit closer to the head, okay? So here's my bird, and the bird is totally covered, except for where I'm going to put the beak, and then I'll probably put eyes in here in a minute. But right now, what I can do is I can sort of fold the paper, I can squeeze it gently. I can't bend the bird, it's going to destroy my sculpture, but see how it's kind of spiky up in here? I can sort of encourage those to lay down a little bit. I can even like fold some up if I think that would look kind of cool. I also can go back and look at my picture, and I can notice that it's a lot darker. You see all the spider webs from the glue. If you wanted to know, I used only 3 glue gun sticks, and I did use my whole 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper to cover my bird. But what I can do is I actually can go back in here with my markers, and just like the bird is kind of darker there, I can just color right on the bird. Now I'm not coloring in actively, I'm just sort of making some marks. Remember how we talked about this being implied texture? So I can do that, and it also helps you if you've got like a little bit of blue showing, you can sort of cover that up too, like I did. All right, so I can do that. Looks like there's a little bit in the tail. Just kind of make it interesting and do that. I'm not too worried about the underside, but sure, why not, right? But then this part on my bird is very dark. This part on the sculpture of my bird is not. So what I'm going to do is look at that and make sure it is nice and dark on here by coloring it. Pretty cool, huh? You could do this with any color. You could do it with crayons. I like to make sure it looks nice on both sides, so if you're looking at my bird from the front or the side, or one side or the other side, it looks good. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. See how it's really starting to look like my cardinal now, isn't it, right? See that? Okay, so what I can do for my eyes is I either can draw eyes with white paper and I can glue them down. I also could get googly eyes and glue them down, and I'm going to show you how to do the beak right now. So all I'm going to do for the beak is I found a small piece of scratch paper that matches the color of my beak. My beak is orange. I found orange paper. If your beak is black or brown, you would find that scratch. And just scratch paper's fine. And I'm going to look and I'm going to see, okay, the beak is sort of shaped like a triangle. So I'm going to get a pencil or pen or marker, whatever you want really. And I'm gonna make a triangle, and I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger than I think it needs to be. Like that feels a little bit big, right? And I'm gonna show you why. So I'm gonna make that, and I'm gonna fold my scratch paper in half, sorry, because I want two that are exactly the same. And then I'll cut that out. Two that are exactly the same. And what I can do is I just sort of take it and I give it a good little bend. See, it's kind of got a little bend in it now. Can you see that? A little bend in it. There we go. Okay. And I'm gonna put some glue on the top part right here. Okay. Top part of my beak. And then I'm just gonna take the second piece and I'm going to bend it as well. Nice little bend. And I want to make them pretty close together. Now, it could be easy to get yourself a little burned right here, so you have to be careful. And you can even bend this down a little bit if you want to. I'm going to bend mine down so it sticks on there really, really nice. And you have to try to match up the two triangles as best you can. It doesn't want to stick down over here. Do you see that? So I could always add like a little extra pop of glue. If I put my finger in there right now, it might burn. So I'm just going to get my pencil or pen and hold it there. That way I don't have to worry about burning my finger, because that wouldn't be fun. If I want to push these together, I can. I don't have to. I'm kind of cool with them not being pushed together. I don't know. You're the artist, so you have to make that decision yourself. Do you like it like this or not? So now I have a nice beak, and I need eyes, so I'm going to go put eyes on it and show it to you. All right, so now my bird sculpture has a beak and eyes, and I pinched my beak together and glued it, and now I kind of wish I hadn't, because do you see how it's squiggled? And there it is from the side, and I can stand it up, and it's going to stand up all on its own. So now that you're done with your bird, we're going to talk about how you're going to prepare your bird for presentation, and how you're going to reflect on what it is you made, and maybe what you would change if you had to do it again. So that's all there is to sculpting a paper bird.